In his desperation to be in the good books of President Bola Tinubu and the ruling All Progressive Congress, the governor of Benue State, who is a reverend father, has thrown Benue State and the Catholic Church under the bus by denying that there is Christian genocide in Benue State. Recall that the Minister of External Affairs, Ambassador Yusuf Tugar, in his interview with Piers Morgan, a United Kingdom journalist, Tugar had used the governor of Benue State as an example to show that there is no Christian genocide because Benue has a Catholic priest as its governor, saying that if there is genocide, he would have been the first to complain. Now, you're going to see that, refresh our mind about that, what the minister said. Then, after we look at what the minister says about the governor of Benue State, we'll now show you the video of the governor himself doing and acting according to the script, obviously written by the federal government for him to act. Because how could you explain this? Just watch.
There are mosques that are destroyed. I don't even have to mention that. Nigeria is configured in such a way that you have Muslim and Christian populations all across the country. There are, of course, states out of the 36 states that we have that have a high concentration of Christians, the same way that there are states where you have a high concentration of Muslims. Take, for example, the more recent attacks that have brought about an intensifying of this false narrative that there's some persecution, or as the likes of Bill Maher even go as far as to say a genocide. The ground
well, it's
zero
actually
for that
more than Bill Maher. If I may jump in again, if I may play you. No, I understand. If I may finish this, if I may jump in. Sorry.
No, if I can just finish this. If I can just finish this. Sorry. The governor of Benue State happens to be a man of the cloth. He's a reverend father. He's a Catholic. So you can see how it is impossible for him to be concealing what is happening. He would be screaming at the top of his voice if indeed there was some genocide, or if there was some specific calculated targeting of Muslims, of Christians. But he knows there isn't, and that is why he is not doing so.
That was the Minister of External Affairs of Nigeria literally calling out the governor of Benue State to defend the government over this Christian genocide issue. And the opportunity presented itself for the governor of Benue State to act the script in an event that held in Abuja. So it was a good opportunity for him to tell the government, I am on your side. I'm not on the side of my Benue people. I am not on the side of the Catholic Church. I am not on the side of the Christian Association of Nigeria. I am on the side of Bola Tinubu and the APC. What he did was like in the case of somebody told to jump, and he said, how high? And he jumped and acted the script, saying that there is no Christian genocide in Nigeria. Because that is what it means. Because shortly after this interview, the Benue governor has come out to say that there is no Christian genocide in Benue State. And you and I know that Benue State is one of the epicenters of the issue of Christian genocide. This is where the bishop that went to US to demand that Nigeria be redesignated a country of particular concern comes from. This is his state, Bishop Wilfred Anaba, the bishop, the Catholic bishop of Makode Diocese. But his governor has thrown him under the bus, thrown the Catholic Church under the bus, thrown Khan under the bus, and thrown the Benue people under the bus. Okay? We are going to talk about it, give you detail why the man is doing what he's doing when we come back. Watch him.
So I am a reverend father. So being in governance does not take that away from me. I am still a reverend father. I came in as a governor, as a reverend father. I am working with the fear of God and the compassion of Christianity and humanity. And at the end of the day, I'm still going back to the church as a reverend father and a good Christian. So that is for the record. We need to understand this. In my state of Benue, we don't have any religious, any ethnic, any racial, any national or state genocide. We don't have that. Do we have a number of insecurities in the state? Yes, we do. But it is not a genocide. Someone would need to go through there to check the United Nations definitions for this. Have we lost a number of people? Yes. We have at different stages. If I've given you a background of the challenges we've had many years ago, we're talking about the agro-pastoralists, God and the herders. And then we're talking about the agro-farmers, typical farmers. So it began like play, like joke, and then it went over and then just continued to some huge proportions. But that does not fit into the parameters of a genocide. So for those who seek to politicize everything, there is no genocide in Benue State. But we have security challenges.
That was the governor of Benue State, Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia, throwing the Christian Association of Nigeria under the bus, throwing the Northern Christian Association of Nigeria under the bus, throwing the people of Benue State under the bus, throwing the Catholic Church under the bus by denying that there is no Christian genocide in Benue State, contrary to the position of the aforementioned institutions and bodies in Nigeria. That he, as he claimed, he says he's a reverend father, that he remains a reverend father, that after he finished being reverend father, after he finished being governor, that he will return to his position as a reverend father. In other words, being a reverend father means that he's a member of Christian Association of Nigeria. Being from northern Nigeria, he's a member of the Christian Association of Nigeria in the 19 northern states and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Okay? So he is the only one saying the truth. All others are liars. Khan, northern Nigeria, is lying. Khan, national, is lying. His bishop, the Bishop of Makode Diocese, Bishop Wilfred Anabe, is higher in rank than him in the Catholic Church. The church he said he will return to as a priest after his governorship period has a hierarchy. The church has a hierarchy. And the Bishop of Makode Diocese is higher than him, who is just a reverend father. Okay? So he knows better than the bishop. The bishop that went to the United States in March to give a position on Christian genocide in Benue State and presented information that aided Donald Trump to make a decision to redesignate Nigeria a country of particular concern. And he was talking about the definition of genocide. He believed that it means that he's doubting Bishop Anabe's understanding of what a genocide is. Okay? Because he's governor. He knows better than the bishop. Now let's watch the bishop again.
Long-term Islamic agenda to homogenize the population has been implemented over several presidencies through a strategy to reduce and eventually eliminate the Christian identity of half of the population. This strategy includes both violent and non-violent actions, such as the exclusion of Christians from positions of power and adoption of such church members, the raping of women, the killing and expulsion of Christians, the destruction of churches and farmlands of Christian farmers, followed by the occupation of such lands by the Fulani herders, and also changing the names of these villages. They are taking over the places, so you clearly see an expansionist approach and Islamic, and then they are making the people now flee and leave their villages, and they conquer it. The quest to Islamalize the land appears high on the agenda of some of the powerful and influential Muslims in Nigeria. There is a campaign to take land to spread Islam, and there is the hemorrhaging of Christian farmers from the central region of Nigeria and Benue State, and Makurdi Diocese in particular, as they are forced to abandon fertile lands that used to feed the nation, which classify Benue as the food basket of the nation. Militant Fulani herdsmen are terrorists destroying society. They steal and vandalize, they kill and boast about it. They kidnap and rape, and they enjoy total impunity from the elected authorities. None of them have been arrested and brought to justice. This is supported by the corrupt system in which we operate and the abject poverty among us, which allow the criminals to easily attract more recruits. Half the population is in the process of being moderately eliminated. Work with us, the churches, and other Nigerians of goodwill. We are working for a peaceful and prosperous society, and our desperate plight has been set aside in U.S. policy for too long, to the cost of thousands of lives. Concretely, I request and I plead, I ask you to redesignate Nigeria as a country of particular concern. This has both a practical and diplomatic meaning to signal that you are paying attention to what happens to us and elsewhere in the world. Because
that was the Bishop of Makurdi Diocese of the Catholic Church when he appeared at the United States Congress to make a case of Christian genocide against the Nigerian government and to ask the Congress to declare and designate Nigeria a country of particular concern. That was in March this year. But the governor of Benue State, who is a reverend and who is in the hierarchy of the Catholic Church, is beneath this bishop, is saying that there is no genocide in Nigeria. That those who are saying that there is genocide are playing politics. So the bishop, who will pretend over him when he finished becoming governor, is playing politics with the killings in Benue State. That's what he's alleging there. Okay? That's apparently what he's saying, that is the situation, that they are playing politics. But he is the one that is playing politics, and I will show you proof that he is the one playing politics more than any other person. He is the one playing politics. And let me show you that he is the one playing politics. You know that even the Tortif the highest ranking authority in Benue land and the chairman of the Benue State Traditional Council, when President Bola Tinubu, following the outrage that greeted the recent killings in Benue, that forced Tinubu to visit Benue State. In that occasion, the Tortif spoke, and he spoke truth to power. And what he described there was a classic case of genocide. The picture he painted, he refused to be politically correct while speaking to President Bola Tinubu. In other words, this governor has also thrown the Tortif under the bus, because the picture he painted is no different from the definition of genocide. Now, in the video you watch of the governor of Benue State, he was asking that what is going on in Benue State does not fit into the definition of genocide according to the United Nations. Now let us look at the definition of genocide according to the United Nations he was talking about. Now the definitions is on Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of Crime of Genocide, Article 2. In the present convention, genocide means any of the following acts committed with intent to destroy in whole or in part a national, ethnical, racial, or religious groups. As such, 1. Killing members of the group. 2. Causing serious bodily or mental harm to members of the group. Deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life calculated to bring about its physical destruction in whole or in part. Imposing measures intended to prevent births within the group. 5. Forcibly transferring children of the group to another group. Now, killing members of the group. Because if you meet any one of these criteria, you fit into the definition of genocide. Now, if you listen to Bishop Anabe's presentation at the United States Congress, which you just watch a clip, and let me advise you, Bishop Anabe is going to appear at the U.S. Congress today, Thursday, November 20th, today, at the U.S. Congress. He is going to make another presentation by 11 a.m. Eastern. It will be streamed live, so you can watch it. Try and watch Bishop Wilfred Anabe. He will be live. It will be streamed live by the House Committee in the United States. 11 a.m. Eastern means 5 p.m. Nigerian time today, Thursday, November 20th, 2025. He's going to make another presentation. He has been invited by Riley Moore and others who are investigating the Christian genocide issue in Nigeria. So try and watch it. I will also watch it, and we are going to talk about it here. Okay. So when you heard the first presentation that Reverend Wilfred Anabe, Bishop Wilfred Anabe gave in March, he painted the whole picture of genocide going on in Benue State, about that the communities are being sacked, and that those who sacked them, those who killed them have taken over their communities, and that they cannot go back. Remember, there was a video I also shared in this channel of Professor Saro, the former vice president, the former vice chancellor of Ahmadu Bello University, who listed local governments and communities that have been taken over by herdsmen. Means that people are being killed, people are taken over. That fits into the definition of United Nations Genocide Convention. Okay? The Convention on Prevention and Punishment of Crime of Genocide. It fits very well into it, because right now in Benue State, it is estimated that there are over 1.5 million people that have been displaced since 2018. If you listen to Bishop Anabe's interview, presentation at the U.S. Congress, if you listen to the forward, the one he did last March, he mentioned the fact that this governor was not working to return the people to their ancestral homes. That what he was doing was working with the federal government to go and build another settlement for displaced Benue people, far away from their ancestral homes, while no effort is being made to return the people to their ancestral home. It means that the federal government and the Benue State Government under Alia literally surrender those lands to them. And Bishop Anabe will not take that. He criticized that policy of the government of Alia of building permanent settlement for people that were displaced from their ancestral lands. He said, no, they must return to their ancestral land. And in the presentation by Bishop Anabe in the last time, he was saying that the Nigerian government has the capacity to be able to deal with the militant headers that chase them away, kill them and chase them away from their communities, and restore them back to their ancestral home. That Nigerian government doesn't have the political will. That the United States government should redesignate Nigeria as a country of particular concern to force Nigerian government to return them back to their ancestral homes. That was his plea. And that his prayers was answered by Donald Trump when he redesignated Nigeria as a country of particular concern. And is now working and threatening that if Nigeria does not take care of the business of dealing with those who are committing the alleged Christian genocide, that they are going to chase them, enter Nigeria, take care of the terrorists. Okay? And because Nigerian government don't want America to come and do it directly, they are now trying to do everything to convince Donald Trump and the Americans that there is no Christian genocide. Now let us look at the political angle. The political angle is that Governor Alia is in a quagmire. He is not, he's in APC, right? His godfather is the secretary to the federal government. The secretary to the federal government of Nigeria is his godfather. He's not in the good books of the godfather. And because he's not in the good books of the godfather, there is a battle for the soul of APC in Benue State. And he is in competition with the secretary to the federal government on who to control the APC. So the last thing he can do is to openly express that there is genocide in his state. His political opponents, including the secretary to the federal government, they will use it against him with the presidency and ensure that he doesn't return. So what can he do is to pander to the presidency to tell them, I'm still a good boy, I'm still on your side, by making sure that he told the lie. Because that's the only explanation that can explain what is unfolding. Okay? Because if not for that, I'm sure that he is somebody who should know better that there is problem in his state and that the Christian genocide allegation being made by Bishop Wilfred Anabe, cannot be dismissed just the way he dismissed it as being political. But as far as I can see it, he is the one playing politics because his godfather, excuse me, George Akume, who is the secretary to the federal government, who it is believed brought him in and made him the APC candidate in 2023. They are no longer in good terms. They are not in good terms. And he has been making every effort to make amend so that he can get a second term. That is what all this is all about. But why the thing is shocking to me is that he is a reverend. What has he got to lose? Being a reverend, he ought to have been able to speak truth to power, no matter whose ox is God. So what's this desperation to get a second term to the level that you are throwing your state under the bus? Because help is supposed to come from America. You are throwing your state under the bus. You are throwing the Catholic Church under the bus, throwing the Catholic Bishop of Makurdi under the bus, throwing the Christian Association of Nigeria under the bus, throwing the Christian Association of Nigeria northern states under the bus. All because you want to get a second term. Because you cannot tell me that all these people I mentioned, all these institutions I mentioned, that they are wrong. Only Reverend Hyacinth Alia is right. All of these other people all these other people and institutions, they are playing politics. Only Reverend Hyacinth Alia is not playing politics. But in reality, the only one playing politics in the whole thing is the Reverend Governor. That's my take. I don't know what you think about the Reverend Governor's position that there is no Christian genocide in Benue State, that people are just playing politics with the killings going on in that state. But whatever is your position, let's hear from you at the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.